The Exorcist Real Horror Story Exorcism of Roland Doe. Before this story begins, let me warn you of one thing. What you are about to hear is not fiction. This is not a movie plot. And this is not something created for entertainment. This is a real case, documented by priests, doctors, and witnesses. A case so disturbing that it inspired one of the scariest horror movies ever made. So if you believe some doors should never be opened, you might want to stop listening now. And if you enjoy true horror stories that are dark, disturbing, and real, make sure you subscribe, because stories like this are uploaded here regularly. Now listen carefully. In the year 1949, a 14-year-old boy named Robbie lived in Maryland, USA, with his Aunt Harriet and her family. Robbie's parents were no longer alive, and he often felt lonely and desperate to speak to them again. His Aunt Harriet was deeply interested in paranormal studies and believed in communicating with the dead. Seeing Robbie's pain, she gave him something that would soon destroy his life, a Ouija board. Robbie began using the board every day, trying to talk to his parents. At first, nothing happened. But slowly, Robbie began to change. He became aggressive, irritable. He started talking to himself. Then his Aunt Harriet suddenly died. After her death, Robbie became obsessed with the Ouija board. He spent hours trying to contact her spirit. Soon, terrifying things began happening. Knocking sounds echoed from the walls. Voices called his name. Sometimes he heard a woman crying, sometimes laughing uncontrollably. Scratches appeared on Robbie's body, deep, red marks that no one could explain. One evening, while Robbie was alone in the house, he attempted to summon his aunt again. Suddenly, all the doors and windows began slamming shut 3 times repeatedly, then stopping. The lights flickered violently. 2 black shadows began spinning around his room. Terrified, Robbie ran into his aunt's bedroom. He saw a woman sitting on the bed, combing her hair. Believing it was his aunt, he called out to her. She didn't respond. She slowly moved her hair away from her face. What Robbie saw froze him in terror. The woman's eyes were completely white. Worms crawled across her decaying skin. She laughed, deep, broken, and inhuman. As Robbie turned to escape, a demonic figure stood in front of him. Red eyes. Long teeth. A smile that didn't belong to this world. The door slammed shut on its own. Later that night, when the family returned home, they found Robbie covered in blood. He held a knife in one hand, and the dead body of a neighbor's cat in the other, eating its flesh. When he noticed them, he screamed with rage and collapsed. Doctors failed to explain his condition. Finally, 2 priests were called. The moment they entered the house, Robbie began screaming violently. He mocked God. He insulted the priests. Holy water caused his body to twist unnaturally, and furniture began moving on its own. Multiple exorcisms were performed. Nothing worked. One night, strange symbols appeared carved into Robbie's body. A large X formed on his chest. His bed began levitating in the air. The priests said the X meant 10 in Latin, signifying 10 demonic entities inside him. During the final exorcism, Robbie was found clinging to the ceiling, laughing and speaking fluent Latin, something he had never learned. As the ritual continued, his body turned dark. A foul liquid poured from his skin. Then suddenly, silence. Robbie collapsed. The next morning, he woke up weak, but completely normal. He remembered nothing. He recovered fully, and the possession never returned. Robbie forgot everything that happened to him, but the priests who witnessed it never did. If this story disturbed you, good. Because only real horror leaves a mark. Subscribe now for more true, disturbing, and unexplained stories. And remember, some stories end when the video does. Others follow you into the dark.